Your crypto is not safe. In fact, hackers have stolen over $1.4 billion in 2022 alone using crypto bridges. Ethereum, Solana, Axie Infinity, none have been spared. Crypto bridges that promise to make blockchains talk amongst each other have now themselves come out as a top security risk. And even Vitalik has given a thumbs down to cross-chain bridges. But will Vitalik be proven wrong this time? And how careful do you need to be while using crypto bridges? And finally, an important question, does a secure crypto bridge even exist? Let's switch gears and talk about safe crypto bridges. So Wanchain was the only project that refuted Vitalik's statement that cross-chain is not the future. And that's because Wanchain is at the verge of a major update, the Saturn fork that will bring one of the safest bridges in the industry and full EVM compatibility. We are big fans of Wanchain. We even spoke with Weijia Zhang of the Wanchain project. Go back and check out this video. It was published in December of 2021. And so, of course, we're going to be talking more about Wanchain and the Saturn fork, its implications with regard to the Ethereum merge situation. But before all that, we're going to have to understand exactly what multi-chain interoperability is. If you're already an interoperability whiz, then feel free to skip ahead to the Saturn hard fork section of this video. But in essence, to fully go multi-chain, we need bridges and cross-chain compatibility specifically. And despite bridges being in the news a lot these days for reasons relating to hacks, there are still many good bridges available right now. Some examples are Multichain, Binance Bridge, and Avalanche Bridge. Wanchain bridges are decentralized, direct, non-custodial bridges that connect both EVM and non-EVM networks. And these bridges use a combination of secure multi-party computation, that's SMPC, and Shamir's secret sharing to secure cross-chain assets. So to keep it simple, Wanchain uses the most secure protocols to keep its bridges secure. And currently, more than 15 layer 1 and layer 2 networks and counting are connected by Wanchain's wide area network of blockchains. But Wanchain, with its new Saturn fork, is bringing one of the safest bridges in the industry and full EVM compatibility to one place. And later, we're even going to show you guys how to do a private transaction that no one else can trace on Wanchain. And that's even though it doesn't advertise itself as a privacy chain. If you want to see why the multi-chain future of cryptocurrency includes Wanchain, and if you want to take part in it, and if you want to know why we think WAN, that's W-A-N, is way undervalued right now, then stay tuned. We dive into Wanchain in today's video. Okay, let's dive right into Wanchain with a look at the Saturn hard fork. This is really one of the things that has us most excited about Wanchain. And it allows for the project to keep all of the best stuff it had before. We're talking safe multi-chain bridging or private transactions, but then it also adds some great new features. Specifically, we're going to be taking a look at those. First of all, full compatibility with Ethereum's London hard fork. This is a big deal. So, Ethereum's London hard fork from August had a couple of major improvements in it. The biggest improvement, of course, was adding EIP 1559. And in the midst of all that talk, you may well have heard about Ethereum's so-called triple halving, which is based at least partly on the upcoming merge and partly on the change in gas fees and burn mechanism we got with EIP 1559. It's a big deal. The whole gas market is different now. But we are not here to talk about ETH today. We've been talking a lot about Ethereum lately. Go back and check out our recent videos if you've not already. But for the time being, we are here to talk about Wanchain. And without compatibility with London, it would be hard for any EVM to compete for developers as the fees have come down thanks to 1559. And with this compatibility, Wanchain now supports EIP 1559, which is why it's such a big deal. Now, everything Wanchain does is compatible with the latest version of EVM. And we are going to show you why WAN, again, ticker WAN, is so undervalued for this reason in just a moment. But first of all, two big tech updates are worth discussing here. We know that most of you aren't necessarily super technical in the altcoin buzz audience. And look, we aren't either, not necessarily. But that doesn't mean that tech advances aren't important. So we ought to cover them when they're relevant, especially when they help developers. And we know that more developer activity is always a leading indicator to network growth. So the first of those two tech updates is a major security update. One of the most secure forms of cryptography, as you may know, is SHA-3. It's even more secure than Bitcoin's SHA-256. Actually, speaking of that, neither Bitcoin nor Wanchain has ever been hacked or had funds drained out of it, just FYI. which is a big plus in the market where hacks are rampant and seemingly ubiquitous lately. They're happening almost daily, at least for certain projects. And even Curve, if you look at them, they got hit with a small hack, but thankfully Binance helped limit the damage to the malicious contract that caused the problem. And that second major technical update is for EVM developers. Wanchain is now compatible with all the new OP codes. This means that any operation an EVM can do, whether smart contracts, minting, burning, lending, or other stuff, Wanchain developers can now do that in their EVM apps. Wanchain is going to get more developers in its network and better network performance as a result of this. And it's very seamless because it does not require developers to learn a complex new developing language. That is not necessary here. So why is it all such a big deal? Well, as we've said, Wanchain is already a leader in bridges. They have some of the safest bridges in the industry, and you can do private transactions there as well. And we're going to show you how right here, because developers need zero new knowledge, whether that's building in Solidity or deploying an already built DeFi app to launch on both ETH and WAN, W-A-N, at the same time. So while the protocol is admittedly most popular for bridges connecting 15 blockchains to each other, this hard fork could well be that huge leap forward that fans have been waiting for and have been clamoring for in this space. Because look, guys, quiet builders like Wanchain, yes, they stay behind the scenes, they stay under the radar, they stay quiet until they don't, until big things happen. And this may well be the major update that creates the noise investors have been looking for. And speaking of the tokenomics, here's some strong points you may want to consider. First of all, its market cap, as you can see, is only in the $48 million range. They could very easily, very possibly 10 times from here and still be worth less than a $500 million project. Think about that. Secondly, 195 million out of 210 million WAN tokens are in circulation, so there's no overhang of tons of new supply hitting the market. Therefore, no risk of rapid tokenomic inflation. Third, there's a favorable unit pricing. The cost right now, as you can see, is just under 25 cents each WAN. They're also adding Cardano to their bridges. And finally, developer activity is poised to grow with full EVM compatibility. This is so important for blockchains because with no devs, of course, they cannot grow. So that is our quick look at the Saturn hard fork. We went over the major upgrades, of course, and what they mean, and then showed you why these upgrades mean that we think WAN, again, WAN is the ticker, why we think WAN is very undervalued. Quiet builders like Wanchain are some of our favorite projects in this crazy altcoin market. There is so much potential here. And if you stand to benefit from targeted research on projects like Wanchain, just like this, then very likely our Altcoin Buzz Access group is for you because you get exclusive reports, custom trading signals, and you can talk to the fantastic research team directly. Check out the link in the description below. Plans start at $99 per month. Full disclosure, guys, Wanchain, ticker WAN, is a personal favorite of mine. I've been a believer in this one for a long time, and I hold a pretty large bag. Let me know your thoughts about Wanchain, about the tokenomics, which I find particularly attractive. Share your point of view in the comments below. As a reminder, we wish you always the very best of luck if you choose to invest, but never official financial or investment advice. If you're still watching this video, kudos. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell to receive notifications, of course. Check out these other couple of videos which are popping up here to my left, to my right. Stay safe out there, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. And as always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.